Emigrant mice. A mouse, weary of living in the continual alarm attendant on the carnage committed among her nation by cats and traps, thus addressed herself to the tenant of a hole near her own. An excellent thought has just come into my head. I read in some book, which I gnawed a few days ago, that there is a fine country called the Indies, in which mice are in much greater security than here. In that region, the sages believe that the soul of a mouse has been that of a king, a great captain, or some wonderful saint, and that after death it will probably enter the body of a beautiful woman or a mighty potentate. If I recollect rightly, this is called metempsychosis. Under this idea, they treat all animals with paternal charity, and build and endow hospitals for mice, where they are fed like people of consequence. Come then, my good sister, let us hasten to a country the customs of which are so excellent, and where justice is done to our merits. But, sister, replied her neighbor, do not cats enter these hospitals? If they do, metempsychosis must take place very soon, and in great numbers, and a talon or a tooth might make a fakir or a king, a miracle we can do very well without. Do not fear, said the first mouse. In these countries order is completely established. The cats have their houses as well as we ours, and they have their hospitals for the sick separate from ours. After this conversation, the two mice set out together, contriving the evening before they set sail to creep along the cordage of a vessel that was to make a long voyage. They got under way, and were enraptured with the sight of the sea that took them from the abominable shores on which cats exercise their tyranny. The voyage was pleasant, and they reached Surat, not like merchants to acquire riches, but to receive good treatment from the Hindus. They had scarcely entered one of the houses fitted up for mice when they aspired to the best accommodation. One of them pretended to recollect having formerly been a Brahmin on the coast of Malabar, and the other protested that she had been a fine lady of the same country, with long ears. But they displayed so much impertinence that the Indian mice lost all patience. A civil war commenced, and no quarter was given to the two newcomers who pretended to impose laws on the others, when instead of being eaten up by cats, they were strangled by their own brethren. It is useless to go far in search of safety if we are not modest and wise. The shepherd and the sheep. A shepherd driving his sheep to a wood saw an oak of unusual size full of acorns, and spreading his cloak under the branches, he climbed up into the tree and shook down the acorns. The sheep, eating them carelessly, tore the cloak. The shepherd coming down and seeing what was done, said, "Oh, you ungrateful creatures! You provide wool to make garments for all other men, but you destroy the clothes of him who feeds you." Carelessness is a form of ingratitude. The bear and the beehives. A bear that had found his way into a garden where bees were kept began to turn over the beehives and devour the honey. He paid no attention to the first bees which came to attack him, or to the threats from others, but finally the bees settled into swarms about his head, and stung his eyes and nose so much that, maddened with pain, he tore the skin from his head with his own claws. Despise not little things.